struggle to get into the fucking chair without knocking everything down. Hello? Let's start from the beginning. Hello? Long time no see. It's been a while, and I am back with a new video that's gonna blow some minds. I think it's been done before. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen it, but I've been thinking about it for so long. It is going to be iPad related. It's going to be gaming related. Well, if you can call it gaming on an iPad, I do. As you all know, I mostly do most of my gaming on my phone, on the iPad, because of time restrictions, because of my job. So I just, whatever is convenient to me, whenever I want to play games, I just play them on my phone or my iPad. I do play on my laptop sometimes, but the majority of the gaming is on the iPad. Today's video is very interesting, and it's been something that I've been thinking about for the longest time, and I've had so many trials and so many attempts to master it, and I think I mastered it finally. So as you can see, I have the iPad in front of me. This is the iPad Pro 12.9, the M4 chip. And if there's one thing about it, is the performance of this chip is out of this world. Gaming on this chip is so good that most of the games are not unlocking its max potential. For example, the majority of the video is going to be talking about gaming, and it's going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about Wuthering Waves basically. Let's just lower. We just did a screenshot. We've pressed every single button. Stupid Siri. I have a pet peeve with the iPad before we start anything. Volume buttons, when you have the iPad in landscape mode, they, by software, they change them, which button lowers and increases the volume. They just, based on software and positioning of the iPad, it's not fixed. So when it's in landscape, it's a different layout. When you put it in portrait mode, it's a different layout. So this is really annoying. Back to the iPad. I've had my ranting now. So the problem with iPad gaming is overheating. That's the most ridiculous thing that happens with iPads, because they are razor thin. Let's just unplug it and let's just put this out of the frame. The most ridiculous thing that happens to iPads when they overheat is performance drop. And it is so apparent and it is so annoying that most games are unplayable, borderline. They're so bad, and I just, you have to lower the frame rate or the graphics, and I don't want to do that. What I've used to do is have these ice pack thingies, the blocks of ice packs that you put to preserve foods in the ice box, the food kind of preserving boxes that you use when you travel for cold beverages and food in general. And I would kind of freeze it and put it here, and I would buy one that is flat, so that would have good surface area coverage with the iPad, so that would help with the heat dissipation. However, it's very, very messy. It makes everything wet around it. You have to put a sock on top of it or a cloth or something, and the contact between the metal from the iPad and the heat pack is not really great. So it wasn't really efficient, but it did its job. I used it for many months back in 2022, 2021, I believe, when I was playing Genshin religiously on the iPad. Now, I was thinking about these small heat dissipation or coolers for phones, the ones with the MagSafe. In particular, this one that I bought for my phone, and it did wonders. On the iPhone, you can play on 120 frames per second for most games, because it is capable. So this right here is a Black Shark Pro Cooler. It's a cooling case, Pro 3, I believe. That's what it is. It's a USB-C. Unfortunately, when you connect it to the iPhone, this particular one, and this one as well, which is the Black Shark Pro Cooler 4, MagSafe. Both of them have USB-C, but when you connect them to the iPhone, they don't get power. They need a lot of power, so I don't think the iPhone is capable of providing enough power for it to be working properly, so it does not work. You have to connect it to an external source of power for these two to work. These two are fantastic for gaming. I used to play on the phone. It's a little bit on the larger size, but the surface area, the contact between the phone and this plate right here, that is a copper plate, I think, that is plated with some rubbery kind of material, is just fantastic, to be honest. It is just fantastic. And you can use this one and you can use the MagSafe. The MagSafe, there's an issue with that. The iPhone's processor location, it's not in the middle. It's not under the Apple logo. It's not where the MagSafe connection is, or the connectors on the iPhone are. It is a little bit higher and right next to the cameras, to the right side of the camera. So there isn't enough contact under the processor, but it does the job. It cools the phone, and that cooling dissipates into the kind of the processor area and it cools it. What I advise you to use is this one with no MagSafe. It has clips and it's adjustable. You can slide it all the way up just underneath the camera, because there's a camera bump on the iPhone that prevents you from sliding it a little bit higher. But you can tilt it ever so slightly and it would have better contact on this angle over the processor, and it cools a little bit better because it's right on top of the processor. But this one does same job basically. You won't notice anything and the phone is going to be cool as a cucumber basically. It's so cold. And there is a setting on this one that prevents it from doing its job too good, because it might reach a freezing point which might ruin your phone. It's not going to get to that point because you're playing games that are graphics intensive and your phone is going to overheat either way. So it's going to stay at an idle, I would say 18, 17. That's from my testing. It was around 18, 17 degrees Celsius, sometimes 20, but nothing above that. There's a sensor here that detects the temperature and it shows you on the application for this one. You can update it through the connection that it does with the phone. You can connect it either, I think it's Bluetooth, I'm not really sure, and Wi-Fi. It gets Wi-Fi from the phone, from the chip. This one does the same thing, but I haven't checked the temperature detection on it because I played with this one for like a couple of weeks and I decided to get the MagSafe one because I was thinking about the iPad. With this one, those are not detachable, so it is fixed. And I really enjoyed Black Shark. The quality of Black Shark is really good. But unfortunately, this model in particular does not have those disconnected, and it's not MagSafe. So it's very difficult to connect it to the iPad. And that's why I got this one, the MagSafe one. Now, the problem with the MagSafe is that the iPad doesn't have it. So what I had to do is get one of those MagSafe adapters or magnetic kind of rings that you can place on any phone or any case, and it makes it a MagSafe compatible one. Basically those rings, and I don't advise to get those. There's an issue, you see. These are metal rings that if you place on a flat surface is going to be raised a little bit, so there's not going to be a good contact between this plate and the iPad because the metal is raised ever so slightly. That's not going to be efficient in cooling the iPad. So when you place it there, it snaps really good and it's really strong. As you can see, I'm struggling, my Jesus Christ. So it's really snug in there. It's not going to move anywhere, and you can actually lift the iPad with it. But the thing is, there is a gap in the middle that's going to prevent it from, if you can see with your nails, with your finger, you can actually see there is a gap in between this and that. There is a ledge, so that does not, dissipate the heat properly. So I used it and I didn't like it and I removed it. Then it occurred to me, there are these similar MagSafe compatible or a makeshift kind of MagSafe stickies that are flat surface, that are like this. So as you can see here, this is a specific kind of MagSafe compatible sticky thingy that you can put on any device, and it makes it MagSafe compatible, and you can actually carry the weight of the iPad. I mean, keep in mind this iPad is really light, really thin, so it holds the weight without any problems. I'm not gonna shake it vigorously, so it's gonna fall for sure. But you know, it does the job. One more thing about the iPad M4 chip, the new iPads, the 2024 iPads, is that the processor is in the middle of the iPad. So there are two battery components here, and in the middle is where the M4 chip is. And Apple, with this device, what they've done is they've re-engineered the Apple logo and made it a copper plate that's gonna be on top of the M4 chip, so that's gonna be very good for heat dissipation, and it's gonna help cool the device, because the M chip here, the M4, is very, very powerful. And with the thinness of the iPad, they needed to do something to make it as cool as possible. It's not going to be very cool. It's going to overheat if you play on it, because it's really thin. Heat does not, you know, it has to go somewhere basically. So what I've done is, because it has a copper plate there, when you place a cooler on top of that, and you can face it downward so that the USB connector would be same direction as the iPad, that would be fantastic. You would have two cables basically. You can have one cable connecting the iPad into the cooler, and the iPad is capable of providing enough power for it to work. However, keep in mind, if you're playing at high settings, you're gonna drain the iPad battery. And with this one, you can have it at a locked kind of 80%, so you can keep it on connected, and it's not gonna go over the 80%. So you're not gonna ruin your battery basically. So if you have one of those adapters that I have right here, just a second. Sorry, there we go. If you have one of these hubs, or whatever you want to call them, that's USB-C, and it has a power delivery USB-C that can provide, I think, 30 watt or more, so enough power for the iPad to work and charge without having any drop in the battery percentage. And you have another USB-C that you can connect to the fan, and it's gonna power both of them at the same time. So you can use this one, and I'm actually gonna use it because, let me see if I have a USB cable right next to me. I do. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna connect this one to the iPad first, and the game is playing at the moment. Let me just increase the brightness. So let's just make sure that the graphics are maxed. Max everything, and everything is the highest settings. With Wuthering Waves, the frame rate is maxed at 60, and as you can see, it's not overclocked. It's not going to overheat significantly, because there is still more potential for the game to utilize the processor. I think we're going to get the 120 frames sooner or later, because Genshin has it, and Genshin is very graphics demanding game. So at the moment, max settings on Wuthering Waves. Let me see if I can screen record at the same time. I'm going to insert it in the video. So let me just press, where is it? There. Let me just mute the microphone and start recording. And is it recording? Let me just double check before I do. It is recording. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to connect the fan, and as you can see, it's working. You can change the lights. There are so many presets for the lighting, pulsing, kind of whatever style you want, whatever colors you want. I don't mind it. There is a small physical button here that you can actually long press, and it's going to turn this off. And then if you want to keep it connected but you want to turn it on, basically, you can just press it again, a long press, so that it's not accidentally pressed. Now, one issue with this is that when you place it like that, you can't really hold the iPad and play. If you have strong forearms, please do so, but you're going to get fatigued really quickly. It's a very heavy iPad, and unfortunately with Wuthering Waves, doesn't support any controllers basically, so you're going to have to play with the iPad screen. So what I figured out that I can actually use is one of these. which is a small divider that I use to put my laptop, my iPad and everything, is just an organizer on the desk. And it has a very small ledge here that you can actually put it on, and that would be great for gaming. So if you play Genshin with a controller, that's going to be fantastic. Any game with a controller is going to be perfect for this. And it's not going to cover the fan because it draws the air in through here and it just pushes it out through these vents right here and on the other side. So if you place it like that and play games on it, that's perfect. So I've noticed that with this connected to the iPad, it still heats a little bit and it's still a little bit warm to the touch. Not as cold as the iPhone, because again the form factor of the iPhone is a little bit smaller and the contact from the plate body surface of the iPhone is going to be like a third. This covers a third of the iPhone, so I think it cools it more efficiently. But with the iPad, the surface area is really large and you try to focus it on top of the processor over the Apple logo, particularly for the new iPads, for the M4 iPads. So it's a pleasant kind of warmth to the iPad. It's not really hot, it's warm, that's it. It does not overheat, and there are no frame drops, there are no glitches, no lagging, nothing whatsoever. So you can actually play the game, do whatever, play any other games at the max graphics. And I think Genshin at the moment is the most kind of graphics intensive one because it plays at 120 frames per second, but I haven't been playing Genshin for the longest time. I mean, the newest updates are not really exciting, and I've already maxed my characters that I liked, so I'm waiting for it to get to a point where I can just go through every content in the game and just get it over with, just because I've invested so much in the game. And I still like it, I still love it. I play it every once in a while. I collect the free stuff that they provide us. So as you can see, oh, actually I'm gonna insert the video of the game. I don't have to show you. Unfortunately, I don't have a frame counter here. I'm not sure how to do that, so I'm not gonna, because one of the previous videos says that it's not going to be a very kind of accurate kind of assessment of the iPad's capabilities and if there's any frame drops or not without a frame counter. And for that dude who wrote that comment, I'm sorry, I don't have a frame counter on here, but I know for a fact, because I've been playing on iPads for so long, so long, like since the iPad, what now? iPad 3rd generation, the first one with the Retina, I think it's 2nd generation. Since that one, I've been playing on iPad, like since 2014, I've been playing on iPad. So I know if there's a frame drop or not, just by looking and playing the game. And I think you can tell too. You can tell that by playing the games. It becomes a little bit kind of glitchy and laggy and not as smooth. It's playing butterly smooth. It's really good. And again, it does not heat. It's a little bit warm in the center of the screen, just under the processor, but again you have this plate. Now if you want to disconnect it and not ruin your iPad, because I don't really want to ruin a 1000+ iPad, I placed some tape on top of the iPad. That is, you can use see-through, that's what I had, the brown one. So I placed that, and I placed the sticky magnet on top of that, so whenever I want to remove it, there is a small see-through tab right here that you can actually lift and just peel it off, and you can peel that off, and if there's any residue you can just use alcohol and just wipe it off, so that it does not scratch it or cause any kind of damage to it. Now I'm gonna place it back. This is one of the kind of the stands that you can use. Another one that's from IKEA is this one. It has an open back, so anything that has an open back is fantastic. You can put it there and you can, there we go, and you can again play the game. I advise you to use the larger one, the one with the larger groove, because it supports the iPad from the back. This one feels a little bit flimsy and you feel like you're gonna rip the screen from this end, because this bezel is really small and very short, and if you put it here you feel like you're gonna rip it. But with this one, the indentation and the support is a little bit larger, so it feels a little bit kind of more secure and not as ridiculous as the smaller one. I think the smaller one is better for iPhones. Now I usually use this stand from IKEA again. For most of my kind of when I play games, I connect the controller to the iPad and just play games. But unfortunately, it does not have a open back. It is very good. You can adjust it and you can just tilt it to any side you want, and you can actually hang the headset if you want to put it here, and it's really good. But the issue is that you can't really put it on the iPad, and you can actually hear the fan. Let me so it's not really noisy. It's the noise from it is really kind of, it's fine, it's not that awful. But if you put it against a surface that blocks the air entry, you would hear the fans going into kind of freak mode. So I'm using this one at the moment. It feels more secure and it's not gonna rip the lower bezel of it. At least that's what I feel like is gonna happen. So I've been using this one, and I just wanted to make this video because for all of you who are playing gaming on iPads or any kind of tablet, I think this right here is gonna do wonders for you. It is really awesome. It is really helpful, and it helps you maintain long gaming sessions. And you can actually screen record if your device is capable enough. You can screen record, you can play at the highest settings, you can have another application for frame counting in the background as well, and you can do all of that if your device is capable without any frame drops. Again, it depends on the RAM and the processor, but the device itself is not going to overheat when you have this plate. Now with this one again, you can get one of those that has detachable latches from here, so you can have them. It has a MagSafe and detachable ones, but for the iPhone, if you have something that has MagSafe and detachable ones, it's gonna go with the MagSafe first, because the magnets will push it down a little bit, so it's not gonna cover the processor on top of the MagSafe, or a little bit higher than the MagSafe. So I think if you're using a phone that has MagSafe or an iPhone, use something that has these, and it's universal. You can use it for any other phone. With MagSafe, it's gonna be more towards iPhones or any device that has MagSafe. Keep in mind that you don't want to get these metal rings that are MagSafe compatible, because again, it causes a gap in between the contact of this plate and the phone or the glass of the tablet or the phone, so it's not gonna really do anything. So use the ones that are flat, like this one right here. This is I'm not sure whether it's going to be a short video or not, but this is something that I really wanted to post because it's going to take the iPad gaming through the roof, I think, and it's really awesome. I really enjoy gaming on it, and I've been playing on my iPad more now since it's not overheating, and I can actually maintain high graphics with high frame rate without any drops, and with the battery maintained. And you can actually use it when you're charging as well, because when you're charging and playing games, the iPad really does heat, and the phone as well. So when I use my phone, I have two cables, one for the iPhone, one for the fan. So I am charging the phone, I'm maintaining the percentage at 80% always, and I am playing the game, and the phone does not overheat whatsoever, and there are no lags and no frame drops. So it really is fantastic. Again, keep in mind I am powering it now with the iPad. What I can do is unplug it from the iPad, grab my cable for the iPad, the charging, and the one that I have on it is 70 watts at the moment, so you can just connect it to the power delivery one, connect it to the iPad. Let's connect this one. I don't know why they have USB-Cs on opposite sides, and as you can see, it's working now. So that's one thing, and then connect this one to the iPad, and we're gonna lower it now, and the iPad is charging now. So you are making sure that the iPad is charged properly. You're playing your games. Because I'm gonna post this, let's go to let's farm something, or let's do this. Yep, I hate this boss that I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna post it again. I'm gonna try. I'm not the best at video editing, but I'm gonna do my best. As you can see, the graphics on the game, they're good, but they're not taking the.
Now that's a hassle.
They're not taking advantage of a strong chip like this here. So details are really sharp whenever you're close to an enemy or anything, but the distance, the sharpness from a distance. As you can see here, the tree is not really detailed. If you come closer to it, it becomes more detailed, as you can see right here. And same thing happens with the world, the environment details. If you get a little bit closer, it gets a little bit sharper. And I think it's the distance that they're not really covering. They're not taking advantage of the M4 chip. They're trying to be kind of neutral so that most of the devices can play the game without any hiccups or any drops in the frames. But with Genshin, you can adjust that, and you can actually have a very large kind of environmental detail coverage at long distances, because it takes advantage of the processor that you're using, depending on it. So as you can see, there are no drops in the frames. I don't have a frame counter, I'm sorry for those who are really particular about how many frames, but it's 60 frames per second either way. It's not like we're playing at 120 frames.
Mind's eye.
So this is Wuthering Waves. I'm gonna move really quickly to Genshin. Let's go there, because Genshin plays at 120 frames. So we're gonna play a little bit of Genshin and see the comparison between the two, because with Genshin, again, you're playing at 120. And that shows how I'm behind when it comes to updating the game. I haven't been playing that much. I know that there are free gifts. I'm collecting the wishes that they're giving us for the characters, but I'm not really intrigued in getting any of the characters. I just do random pulls whenever I'm bored. But the characters that they have at the moment in the new region are not really something that I really care about. I'm not gonna do the Abyss now. Let's just make sure that the settings are at the max. Graphics, everything is the highest. Frame rate is 120. Metal graphics is on, so it's overclocked at the moment. Sorry. So if I go to, let's just Natlan, let's go there. I haven't explored anything. I've just unlocked the map basically so that I can, you know, just see the graphics of the area and see the design of the area, which is really nice. But as you can see, oh well, you can see much here. Let me just move away. Let's get this. As you can see, this is very slow. There should be a button where we can actually sprint with these creatures, but there isn't. Or there is one that I'm not aware of. Aside from this, the bungee jumping, whatever. No, I want something that's gonna make me travel a little bit faster, because I think at the moment with my team I can run faster and I can explore a little bit faster. I got the free gene that they offered us from the standard banner, the gift that they've given us. So my gene at the moment is C4, and I really wanted a C4 because it gives me the enemy resistance decreased by 40%, because I am a Kazuha stan here. So now my Kazuha is gonna be... Oh, did you see that? What's going on? What was it? There is a lag. What's going on? Is it because I haven't been playing the game and it's just unpacking some of the content or something? Because again, the device is not hot at all. It is warm. It's really warm to touch, but why did I say warm? It's warm to touch, but it's not really hot at all. So let me see what's going on here.
Alright, let's finish this fast.
What I like about her is that I think C1 or C2 makes her, if you absorb any of the orbs, it makes you run a bit faster. And with John Lee being one of the tallest, I think Itaki, what's his name? Those two are the tallest characters in the game. Arataki Ito and John Lee are the tallest, so they are the ones that run the fastest in the game. So if you don't have the Wanderer or any of the other characters that help you kind of run faster, it's just like I only do this so I can get the orbs, so I can run a little bit faster. And you can use some of the food that makes you use less stamina when sprinting. there is a soup. I'm not really, I can't remember the name of the soup, but you can use that one so you can use less stamina and you can just travel really fast. I'm surprised there are some frame drops for some reason. I mean, again, Genshin is a very graphics demanding game, and this iPad is a very kind of capable one, but again, I'm not really sure what's going on. It's not very noticeable.
Barbados, guide us.
But it's something that it's not constant. It's noticeable. I'm sorry, you can notice it, but it's not constant. It just happens out of nowhere. Let me see if I use the ultimate of some of my characters and have some elements here like this. Will that affect the graphics? I have so many things going on.
As one with wind and cloud.
No, there wasn't a drop here. For some reason, it was lagging a little bit. There was a little bit of a lag. I hate playing it with the screen. I should have connected my controller, but I'm too lazy to do that now. See, there was a small lag here for some reason. I don't know why, but again, iPad is really warm to touch, not hot. And if I remove it, unfortunately I'm recording with my phone, so I would have connected and showed you. I'll take a screenshot of the temperature when playing on the game, but I've checked it multiple times on the iPad, and the temperature is usually between 20, 22 and maybe 18, 19 on a good day. If you're playing a game that's not really graphically demanding like Genshin, maybe Wuthering Waves because it's 60 frames, you can actually get a 17, maybe 17 Celsius or 18. There is a little bit of a lag. I think it might be because this is something new that they've introduced, the metal effects. If I turn it off, let's see if it actually makes it a bit better, because this is the only thing that I can think of that was added recently that I've never had before. I think it might make a difference actually and make it less laggy. Let's see. Oh no, there was a lag here. Let me just sort it to the side until I'm gonna upload the video. I feel guilty playing it and not showing you because I'm still new to the whole editing thing, but I'm gonna try to insert this video on top of the other one. And let's for these enemies, let's just leave it now. Most of the ultimates and the bursts, and
hear me.
see if we can actually
One with nature.
see. Kazuha now is a unit. If you have a C4 gene, Kazuha is the character that you want to offer. And again, my Kazuha is a really good Kazuha. I don't have his signature weapon, and I'm not really a freak when it comes to weapons. I just get whatever. And I have, well, Primordial Jade is not whatever, but you know, it's a rank 1. I don't go, you know, crazy for weapons, but for my favorite characters. Oh my god, I forgot that this is the US account. This is C1. On my main account, I have a C6 Kazuha. I just realized that this is the America account and not my EU account. So I have a C1 here. I have a C6 on my main account. And either way, I have Gene C4 on both accounts. So that's very helpful to get that resistance. And Faruzan, I think, does the same thing. Faruzan has a resistance. Ooh, what if I use Faruzan and Gene? Wait a second, wait a minute. Animal bonus damage is 27, resistance decreased by 30% and 70%? Huh? What? Oh, I'm gonna build her now. Oh, I have a purpose now to play the game. Okay, okay. We'll do that today, actually. I'm gonna play the game today because now I have something to do to make my Kazuha the best Kazuha. I think if I can use Bennett, Kazuha, Faruzan, and Jean. Let's remove, well, Zhongli with the, if you have the shield on Zhongli, I think it gives you, well, it gives you something, I don't know. It gives you some damage increase or something. Let me just double check. Increase shield strength, I don't care about this one. Yeah, this Normal attacks, Jean Lee deals bonus damage and his mouse. I don't care about it. Which one is it? I think when you use the shield on Jean Lee, it increases the damage of a character or something. No? Either way. So if I use Jean, Faruzan, and who else? Bennett. Jean, Faruzan, Bennett, and Kazuha. Yep. Yep, you have 2 healers, so you don't need a shield basically. Well, a shield is really good so that you don't get knocked out of the arena and don't get interrupted. But you know, you win some and you lose some, so I think I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna play the game today because that's really awesome. I haven't thought of this. Let's see, I think I have some pulls here that I'm not using at the moment. I have like 6. Yep, I'm waiting for the Pyro Archon to be released so I can pull her here. I'm not sure I'm gonna... What number am I at the moment? What page is it? Am I far away from getting a character? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, Clorinda. I haven't played her at all. I just got the character and she's just there. Let me show you where she's right here. I got her to level 60 and I was like, yeah, I'm not playing her. I don't like her gameplay. And I got this stupid, I'm not gonna curse on the video, but you know, this stupid character that I really don't like. I don't use Cyano, I don't use Tenari, I don't use Mona. I have her C5 on my account, my main account. Chi. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these characters at all. Baitsu, I only got him because he's a doctor, and I am a doctor as well. And it's just, you know, it felt, I don't know, I wanted to get the medical character basically because I'm in the medical field. And same thing is for Honkai Star Rail. I have got his name, but he's a doctor, so I got him as well. Well, it was a free character, so see, it's lagging again for some reason. Again, iPad is really ever so slightly warm because I haven't been doing anything graphically intensive. It is actually, it's barely warm. I wouldn't even, because if you're watching a YouTube video on high brightness, it's gonna be a little bit warm, and it's not. And I am playing the game with, I'm gonna like 80% brightness, maybe 90, and I just increased it to 100 now because it looks nice when you play on an iPad screen. You might as well just play with high brightness so that you can see everything. Yeah, there's still a lag. It's better than nothing, but I'm not really sure. You can maybe drop some of the graphics so you can be lag free.
Let's finish this fast.
But in withering waves, I haven't noticed anything. Again, no frame rate counter, so don't come at me in the comments saying, well, this is not accurate. I know, I'm just telling you my experience. If you want to experience it, record a video of it. So that's the video. I'm not gonna drag it longer because I know for a fact it's gonna be a very long video, and I'm so sorry if you got to this point in the video. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Write me anything or any kind of games that you want me to try. If there is anything in particular that you want me to try on the iPad, the M4 iPad, any particular games or any kind of configurations that you want me to try with this, write them in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it, and yeah, enjoy your day.